Now again, I'm recording. Ooh. Welcome to this new class here. This is the third try. As we say in German, all good things come in threes. Let me just have a look if this is actually working now. The way this is actually working now. It is perfect. And it's coming as well in. And I think I'm live. And I'm actually can see your chat if you're here. Welcome to this A Course in Miracle reading of the Course in Miracle Urtext version, which is this version here. These are the original notes where Helen Schuckman, she has been taking the stenographic text of what she was, of the text or the dictation she heard in her mind. She was taking that on stenographic notes, and then she was reading them to William Thetford, and he was typing them up into a typewriter. And in the very beginning, there was a lot of conversation and a lot of fine tuning before they got it right. And about 50,000 words of something, the 50,000 words that were removed out of the text, what we have now in the Foundation for Inner Peace version. And in the year 2000, Urtext version came up. So then it got divided into, I think it was the Circle of Atonement, or the I don't know who came up with it, where there was a Hugh Len Kai's version, and there was different kind of versions. And the Sparkly edition is kind of, the Sparkly edition of A Course in Miracles is like one of the versions who's got a little bit more of the miracle texts in the beginning. And what I am very interested in doing today is actually reading the Miracle Principle, which is in this version, and then to compare what it actually says in the A Course in Miracle Urtext version. This is what I want to do with you today. But before I start, I just want to introduce myself quickly. My name is Judith. I'm a Course in Miracle teacher, and I'm a Qigong teacher. And I have been, welcome to my channel. And this is my Course in Miracle Qigong channel, where I have basically recorded a Qigong class for every single Course in Miracle lesson last year. And this year's beginning of the year task for me now is to read the Course in Miracle Principles of the Urtext version. And after we finish that, I would really like to go over the teacher's manual with you. And I like to also add the Qigong into these readings, because it's going to help us both to connect with our source, to connect with our understanding, and also get the right words and the right understanding, and get our connection together. As you know, time is just an illusion, and we just want to connect together, see if we can get the inspiration flowing. I like Qigong very much, as it does help us to get the inspiration flowing. Just want to adjust the camera a little bit. I want to come a little bit closer so you can see me a little bit better. And put the light on, because it's rather late here where I am, so I can see what is going on outside. Okay, well, let's sit. We are seated, both of us, I suppose. Let's just connect. Let's imagine that we have got like a central channel, which is in Qigong. This is called the Tai Chi pole. Tai Chi pole, which is Tai Chi means the balance really between yin and yang, between the earth form and between the ethereal universal power. I would say that the universal power is really the light, and the physical form is the darkness. And for the human experience to work, we kind of need to, for having a happy human experience, we have to bring the balance in between the physical form, which we have as a vehicle, and the inspiration which comes from above. And in the last class, in the last reading, we have established that it is really necessary to understand that this consciousness which we have, this conscious mindset, doesn't actually have any kind of impulses of itself. All the impulses, they come either from the subconscious, which I believe to be, according to Chinese cosmology, I really like it very much because I think it's very wise, the Taoism as well. It is like the wisdom which we have in the lower part of the body. And when you're very intellectual, you could disconnect yourself from the lower part, you disconnect yourself from the heart. You're just kind of all in the mind. But the mind in itself, if it's just relying on the brain impulses here or whatever's happening from the outside, is actually missing the purpose of its power. The mind loses its purpose. So the impulses which can come into the consciousness, they can also be from the superconscious, or you can call it the higher self, which in Course in Miracle terms we could really call the Holy Spirit. So what we want to do is we want to bring that awareness of Holy Spirit and of this Christ consciousness back into this space which we believe to be us, that space which you believe to be you. So the experience of what you think you are in this particular moment. Who are you? And it doesn't need to be spiritual, because I think what we have done, come here, she's shivering, she's cold. It's what we have done, we have kind of the spiritualities in itself has gone so far to one side that it doesn't actually resemble anymore to what we are meant to learn from spirituality, which we are meant to learn from the awareness of bringing the light back into this awareness of self, if you will. It doesn't have to be magical, it doesn't have to be mystical. It's just as normal as breathing in and becoming aware that there is more to us than just that physical self. Okay? So let us do that. Let us imagine that we have got this central channel which is coming through the center of our body, which is anchoring itself in the earth, through our perineum, through our tailbone. And we can even imagine that we are growing like root into the earth, and we can imagine that we are growing like a dragon's tail, which is wagging all the way towards the center of the earth. In Qigong, we want to understand that the body belongs to the earth. The body is yin, and the mind is yang, or the true mind is yang. It's connected to the universe. And the human experience is which is connecting that spiritual mind spirit with this body through the emotions and through the heart. So we want to just become aware of that and allow ourselves to bring in the inspiration from the universe, from spirit, inhaling and exhaling, bringing it into this awareness of body, awareness of self, awareness of the space we believe this self occupies. Exhale down. We want to claim that space. We want to claim that space with our higher self. So we inhale and bring this awareness down. Exhale. Very good. And you're probably already feeling like you're more connected. And let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. If you need to yawn, that's a good sign. It means we are getting connected. You are actually sinking deeper within. You are becoming more aware of who you truly are. Inhale. And last one. Very good. Very good. So, I want to read to you miracle number 29, which is in the sparkly edition. The miracle 29 is the miracle 28 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version. And it says here the most part of it is not even in the miracle. But I want to read what it says here in the it's this revelation bit is in a complete different space in the Foundation for Inner Peace. But I want to read what it says in here in the sparkly edition, and then I want to go with you into the Urtext before they rearranged it all. So miracle 29 is miracles are a way of earning release from fear. Revelation induces a state in which fear has already been abolished. That is the state of revelation. And in the last lesson we learned that the revelation comes from God. The revelation unites souls directly with God, whereby miracle unites humans with each other, unites minds directly with each other. Neither emanates from consciousness, but both are experienced in consciousness. This is what we have learned in the last lesson. So miracles are a way of earning for earning a release from fear. Revelation induces a state in which fear has already been abolished. Miracles are thus a means, and revelation is an end. Miracles do not depend on revelation, they induce it. Revelation is intensely personal and cannot actually be translated into conscious content at all. Let me just read this again. Basically it says here, revelation is intensely personal. It's like when you love somebody. Falling in love with somebody or loving somebody is like a revelation. I remember when I was holding my children, and the love which was emanating was almost like a revelation, but it's very hard to explain it to someone. I mean, you can use words, you can say this and this happened, but it's very difficult to make this other person actually feel what it meant to this moment of revelation to you. So revelation is intensely personal and cannot actually be translated into conscious content at all. And this is, again, this word revelation, we have put it so far out of our reach. So we have distorted it so much that we actually forgot that the experience you are having, this loving experience you have, which is not a simple mind-to-mind connection, but where you are kind of realizing that this connection you have with another person is actually connecting both of you to the source, kind of. That we have removed it from it. So we're calling revelation something which nobody is experiencing, and then saying, well, because nobody experiences something special and difficult to reach, instead of bringing the word back and say, okay, listen, revelation is this experience you have had. This was a glimpse of it. or this was a glimpse of it. So you can build on something, because if you're taking a word and you are putting it outside of your reach and nobody really has reached it, and then on top of it, people can make it up and can say, yeah, I have had the revelation, I have had the vision, then you are left to their mercy in a way. We gotta claim this back. Words are just words, and they are just pointers. And you gotta claim the meaning back. You have to gotta claim back, what does it actually mean? What do they mean by revelation? Let's read what they mean by revelation. Let's read that again. It was in the last miracle. Miracles come from the below or subconscious level. They come from below. They come from, this is like a gut instinct kind of feeling. Revelations come from the above or superconscious level. It's like a revelation is when you are painting and you suddenly have created this incredible painting. That is a moment of revelation. Or when you had a problem and you suddenly found the solution to it. That is a revelation. You were like united with it. It's like it revealed itself. But also the expression of love. Like I said, the revelation that you love somebody. That is also a revelation in itself. Miracles are expressions of love, and revelations are connections with God, connections with the source. So miracles come from the below or subconscious level. Revelations come from the above or superconscious level. The conscious level is in between and reacts to either sub or superconscious impulses in varying ratios. Consciousness is the level which engages in the world and is capable of responding to both, having no impulses from itself and being primarily a mechanism for inducing response. It can be very wrong. Revelation induces complete but temporary suspensions of doubt and fear. It represents the original form of communication between God and his souls, involving an extremely personal sense of closeness to creation, which man tries to find in physical relationships. A particular closeness to creation. So when are you having a particular closeness to creation? This is what you got to question. You got to start there. You got to start from something tangible, something which you have already experienced, and then build on that. But what a lot of churches and religions do, they don't allow you to connect to the things which you already know. They're mystifying. It doesn't matter if it's a church or if it's a spiritual group or whatever it is. They kind of mystify it. They put a mystical experience, and then there's always some sort of a guru or leader who knows it, instead of actually telling you, well, this is what you have experienced already. This is already there. These are the true leaders, actually, who don't make it so difficult. You see? For me, anyway. So, do you understand what the revelation is? Is that when you have this closeness to creation. So when do you have closeness to the creation? When you are yourself in a creative moment, which man tries to find in physical relationships. Physical closeness cannot achieve this. The subconscious impulses properly induce miracles, which are genuinely interpersonal and result in real closeness to others. This can be misunderstood by a personally willful consciousness as impulses towards physical gratification. What does that mean? Physical gratification is that when you are actually feeling an impulse to a closeness with another person, and then you misuse it for some sort of a gratification. So if you like somebody, like in a sales thing, in a sales situation, you like this person and this person likes you, you get some kind of closeness with that person, and then you abuse this relationship to get something out of this person. This is what it means for gratification, so physical gratification. So this person likes me, I like them, and I'm going to now use this to get money out of them. That is what is, for example, meant by that. Or I'm going to use their position, if they're whatever famous person, whatever, I'm going to use the ego takes over and uses their position to put yourself up. Okay? Or this person said, he said this, and because he's my friend, or because I have understood what he has said, so now I am a better person as well. It's a bit in this kind of directions. So let's go back to Miracle 29. Miracles are a way of earning release from fear. Revelation induces a state in which fear has already been abolished. Miracle thus a means, and revelation is the end. So miracle is the beginning. Is that how you get into revelation? Like I said about my son, when I was holding him, and I had this extraordinary sense of love, which we can have when we are feeding our babies or something. You know, there's the extraordinary sense of closeness, but it transcends this. Then it becomes a revelation, because then you realize that you are connected to the divine. You are connected to the creator. You are connected to the creative power, to the source, to the be all, and to the all, to the everything. So revelation uses a state in which fear has already been abolished. Miracles are thus a means, and revelation is an end. Miracles do not depend on revelation. They induce revelation. So miracles do not depend on revelation, they induce it. So you first need these miracles is an expression of love. So you first need this expression of love with other humans, which then going to induce the revelation. Revelation is intensely personal and cannot actually be translated into conscious content at all. That is why any attempt to describe it in words is usually incomprehensible to the other. Revelation induces only experience. Miracles, on the other hand, induce action. So this is where you do something for somebody else. Miracles are more useful now because of their interpersonal nature. In this phase of learning, working miracles is more important because freedom from fear cannot be thrust upon you quite yet. So in our phase of learning, it is important to first do miracles, connect with others, express love. Before we are ready to go into revelation. It is first to understand that we are all actually in this boat together. That is the first thing. So let me now read what the Urtext version says. Just reminding you that the Foundation for Inner Peace miracle number 28 goes like this. Miracles are a way of earning release from fear. And then it says here, I'm going to read it what it says here. And this is actually Miracle Principle 25 according to the Urtext version here. Revelation induces a state in which fear has already been abolished. Miracles are thus a means and revelations are an end. In this sense, they work together. Then it goes in brackets. This is 25c. Tell Bill, William Thetford, that miracles do not depend on revelation. So that is here. Miracles Miracles, on the other hand, induce actions. So this is in here as well. Wait a second, I can't find it. Miracles are useful now because... So it says, tell B that miracles do not depend on revelation. They induce it. He is quite capable of miracles already, but he's still too fearful for revelation. So miracles are expressions of love. This is to see the loveliness in other people. But it's basically to see the loveliness in yourself is probably mostly to be understood as a revelation, where you can understand that you are the Son of God. And you can understand the creation. Note that your, Helen's, revelation occurred specifically after you engaged at the visionary level in the process of denying fear. So we've got to deny fear. This is not saying nothing about that in here. Revelation is intensely personal and is actually not translatable into conscious content at all. That is why any attempt to describe it in words is usually incomprehensible, even if the writer himself... What? Incomprehensible even to the writer himself at another time. Well, that I thought was very, very interesting, because that is not saying this here. And I've had this experience before. Let me read this again to you. Revelation is intensely personal and is actually not translatable into conscious content at all. That is why any attempt to describe it in words is usually incomprehensible. Listen to this, even to the writer himself at another time. This happened to me. I've had kind of revelations where I've been writing something. I thought it was such an incredibly clever insight. And then when I read it later on, I was like, what was that? What was that all about? I don't understand nothing of this. There's a footnote 39. The bold characters are not in the urtext, but are in the notes and appear to have been omitted inadvertently. Urtext manuscript has and. This is not necessary. This is why the book of Revelations is essentially incomprehensible. Revelation induces only experience. This is something to think about. Revelation induces only experience. So this is an experience you have, which is very difficult to put in words. And even if you put it into words yourself, if you can't remember the experience as such, then it makes no sense to you. It's about the experience which you are remembering. Miracles, on the other hand, induce interpersonal action. In the end, these are more useful because of their impersonal nature. In this phase of learning, working miracles is more valuable because freedom from fear cannot be thrust upon you. The experience cannot last. And then it says here, tell B that your propensity for revelations, which is very great, is the result of a high level of past communion with God, being in meditation. Its transitory nature comes from the descent into fear, which has not yet been overcome. Its transitory nature comes from the descent into fear, which has not yet been overcome. What this means is that when you fall back into fear, you are not capable of keeping up the revelation. So that's why the revelation is transitory. It means it's short-lived. You're not in a constant state of revelation. We are not. That's why we're meditating all the time, or that's why we're doing Qigong or whatever we're doing, is because we need to restate the mindset that we want to be in a state of revelation. We want to be in a state of miracle readiness as well. Okay? So that's why we need to, we must practice this. Tell B that you prosper. Its transitory nature comes from the descent into fear, which has not yet been overcome. His own suspended state mitigates both extremes. This has been very apparent in the course of both of your recent developmental patterns. We don't know what that means, what their developmental patterns were at the time. So this is 25H. Miracles are the essential course of action for both of you. They will strengthen him and stabilize you. So miracles are the essential course of action for both of you, for Helen and Bill. They will strengthen him and stabilize you. And then it goes note. This is 25I. This is in brackets and it says note. Note that the much more personal than usual notes you are taking today reflect the revelatory experience. This does not produce the more generalizable quality which this course is aimed at. They may, nevertheless, be of great help to William Thetford personally, and they might be of great help to us. Since you ask for something that would help him personally, it depends on how he listens and how well he understands the cooperative nature of your joint experience. You can help only by reading this note first. You can help only by reading this note first. Ask him later if this should be included in the written part of the course at all, or whether you should keep these notes separately. He is in charge of this decision. Absolutely beautiful. So in this particular note, so she has got something which is the script, and then she has got some notes. And in the notes, she gets the message that William is the one who has to decide what gets into the Foundation for Inner Peace version and what not. And he decided that this should not go in, or it should go in a different space, because it's a collaborative, or it says here, cooperative effort, cooperative nature. Beautiful. And then it says in 25J, which is the last one of the Miracle 25 in the Urtext, another note or another text in brackets, it says, tell William he should try to understand the very important difference between Christ control and Christ guidance. This is what made him fearful yesterday. And how do we know what the difference is? He should try to understand the very important difference between Christ control and Christ guidance. That is what made him fearful yesterday. And what is interesting here is that when you observe yourself, I mean, when I observe myself, when I am actually getting anxious or when I'm getting fearful, it is usually because I have lost my connection. I've lost my center. And before I have been doing the Course in Miracles and before I've been doing Qigong, I didn't know where this came from. I could just feel this disconnection and dissatisfaction and also maybe anxiety, and I couldn't really pinpoint it. What is different now is that I know that the reason why I am anxious is because I am disconnected from self. It's that falling into doubt. When I doubt all the Course in Miracle, all my teaching, all my work which I have done so far, when I doubt the Qigong, when I'm doubting my own drive, then I fall into this anxiety. I'm thinking, wow, what am I doing, wasting my time, and all this kind of negative spin, which I kind of fall down into. And then I need to do some kind of physical action to get out of this. So I need to go walking with the dogs, or I need to go to the gym, use my muscles, because that actually gives happy hormones. So I have to meet people, talk to them, and whatever, clean out the cupboard, or do some physical actions and bring the awareness back into this present moment, or do some Qigong, or meditation is not necessarily even the best at the time, because if you are in an anxious state and you start doing the meditation, you just actually might extend this anxious state. So really it's about doing the opposite. If this it's this action, use the body to get you out of that state, and to help you remember who you truly are, to help you remember that you really are a child of God, a child of love, creating more love, creating more miracles. So this is our principle today, our miracle principle for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you have done any Qigong classes together with me. And I'm very glad that you're here and that we are going through this miracle principles together. This is going to take quite a long time before we're finished because they are so long and there's so much being removed out of it. But it's very interesting to work this together with you and figure out what was actually meant by all this together with you. It's a movement. I mean, how many people are reading this? This is quite amazing. But anyway, I think we have gone 1/3 through it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. Have a wonderful night and see you next week.